The truth about Dragon Ball Super's canon. Well, Toriyama, the Toei staff, or Toyotori has not declared that there is any canon. End of video. No, I'm just kidding, but like, seriously, canon in Dragon Ball especially can be a fun topic. I'm not going to lie, debating what sort of official, based off statements that Toriyama and the Toei staff has made can be fun. To some, there's different levels of the fandom, there's different sort of areas that people, like, sort of cling onto, I guess. There's analysis, sort of people, there's power scalers, there's sort of canon debaters, shippers, there's tons of different facets of the fandom, but I think that the canon sort of debates have gone a little out of hand, especially in regards to Dragon Ball Super. All we have that's concrete, I guess, I mean, it's not really concrete, nobody says, like, this is concrete, but I guess what we have to go off here is the original Dragon Ball manga. That is, like, the sacred thing, which even that is contradicted in Super, so who really knows, and the Dragon Ball Super property itself as it's being developed by Toriyama himself. Now, is canon due to Toriyama's, like, what is the definition of canon in Dragon Ball? Nobody knows. No person knows. Nobody has said canon in their life. I mean, like, for people working on the show, I don't think they've said canon even, like, in their lives. So, what is canon really in Dragon Ball? Well, I think it's very subjective, and I think it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, that's just my opinion. It does not matter. The official continuity, the canon, does not matter. As long as the show and the franchise is good and remains up to a standard and up to a really good quality, then I think it's okay. I mean, there's no authoritative list of media that is or isn't considered canon in Dragon Ball, and honestly, I feel like people should just go with the flow more. Why not watch GT? Oh yeah, it's apparently not canon. Who cares? Toriyama merely said it was a side story, so just like, think of it as that, I guess. You can't dismiss something due to it being non-canon in heavy quotations, because something being quotations, not canon, is kind of a ridiculous argument, because who the hell, who is making this list of what and what isn't canon? It's like, how are you supposed to judge? I guess Toriyama's involvement, that's why I said Dragon Ball Super is quote-unquote canon earlier, but there's no real sort of criteria for this. I guess Toriyama has to be involved in, more than just, I don't know, in Dragon Ball GT's case, designing a logo. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's an interesting argument. Like, it is an interesting topic, but I think it's a little drawn out, and I think that people need to spend a little less time focusing on the canon and then just enjoy the product, because the canonicity of GT, for example, sometimes it outweighs the actual product itself. People's first thought when it comes to GT, like somebody brings up GT and then some people's first thoughts are, oh, that show that isn't canon. No, that shouldn't be the first thought that came into people's minds. It should be, oh, GT, the one where the baby arc was really good, and the one where, well, the Shadow Dragons was kind of a mixed arc, but it was still okay. People should be worrying more about the contents of the show itself, rather than the canonicity. But that's just my point, and I think the topic of canon can be fun if it's lighthearted sort of debating, but if it gets into really serious territory and it's like really becomes a heated debate, then I think it's over the line. It's the same with power scaling. I mean, power scaling can be fun. I'm not very good at it. I'm not a power scaler. My friend MJxTV is. He's a fantastic power scaler. You should all go check him out. But he never sort of goes, this is, you know, fact, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. He never does that. It's just a lighthearted sort of discussion. Links will be down below to check out MJxTV. He's a really nice guy. Check him out. But anyway, the canon debates between the super anime and the manga is useless and are more outdated than the CGI in the Star Wars special editions when it's totally serious and there's actually a debate going on. A lighthearted discussion, that's fine, like I said, but really getting into it and really debating is kind of useless at the end of the day, because let's say that anything that shows up in the Dragon Ball manga we'll consider it canon. So for fun, this is just a goof. Let's say that anything that shows up in the Dragon Ball manga we'll consider it canon. Alright, let's go. So the first thing that's canon to Dragon Ball, apparently according to this arbitrary rule, is Dr. Slump. You know, because Dr. Slump was in a couple of crossover chapters with the Dragon Ball manga, so I guess Dr. Slump is canon then. Superman is a returning character in Dr. Slump, whose original alias is Kuru-Aku Kenta, the main antagonist of Toriyama's manga Tomato Girl Detective. So, Tomato Girl Detective is canon to Dragon Ball apparently. Dr. Slump also features a group of policemen called Gala and Pagos, the name being based off the real-life Galapagos Islands. Gala and Pagos appear in the second chapter of Toriyama's Wonder Island, which Wonder Island is his first ever published manga because there was 2 before it which were never published. But they did make it into Birdland Press, which is a sort of Toriyama, it's an old Toriyama sort of fan magazine newsletter thing. But anyway, Wonder Island, you know, features Gala and Pagos, so Gala and Pagos also show up in Dr. Slump, which is apparently canon to Dragon Ball. So Wonder Island, both chapters are canon to Dragon Ball then. It doesn't stop there though, since Toriyama's second manga, Mysterious Rain Jack, uses the same Dirty Harry character from Dr. Island, which we previously established is canon to Dr. Slump, which is canon to Dragon Ball. So yeah, Mysterious Rain Jack, canon to Dragon Ball it seems. Anyway, today's highlight island is Toriyama's second published manga entry, and the main character of that appears in a panel of Dr. Slump, so it must be canon to Dragon Ball since Dr. Slump is canon to Dragon Ball, so it all makes sense, right? In 1981, Toriyama came out with Pola Roid, a one-shot about a taxi driver and a champion of justice meeting and going off on an adventure. In one panel there is an Arale appearance when Roid reads the Dr. Slump manga, so Pola and Roid must be canon to Dr. Slump then, which is canon to Dragon Ball, so therefore Pola and Roid is canon to Dragon Ball. Sandline, Dub and Peter 1, Lady Red, and plenty of other examples must be canon to Dragon Ball because of characters from it showing up in them. Obviously, no, this is silly and just like the whole entire canon debate, but I did find it fun to do that. By the way, a lot of the time, these characters aren't even the same characters from Toriyama's other works, but kind of just clones, sort of rehashes of other designs that Toriyama made. So yeah, Toriyama designs are really similar. If you've ever played Dragon Quest and seen Dragon Ball, you'll see what I mean. But anyway, that was just a little fun. I don't know. Toriyama's manga, there's no real continuity whatsoever actually. A lot of the characters are just reused, so, you know, the whole canon, you know, it must be canon if that was just a joke. But anyway, Dragon Ball, there is no canon. Dragon Ball Super, basically it. Again, who the fuck am I to tell you what's canon? Just go watch whatever you want. I guess the officialness of things doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's Dragon Ball, it's a goofy martial arts comedy. Just watch it. It's fun. Enjoy it. Don't overthink it. See you later.